Hello everyone and welcome to another... How are you guys doing today? How's life? I know what you're thinking, it's an amazing start to an episode. We are going to start today's episode by addressing some of you guys' comments, and the most important one was regarding my UV light box, and some of you were suggesting how to set a filter for it. The thing is, we needed only 8 PCBs in order to make this, and after having those 8 PCBs, it doesn't really matter. We can just put it inside this guy and it will do it automatically for us. Another very important comment was that instead of using an extractor, I could have just used a redstone lever and a normal pipe. I forgot. I'm sorry. I do that a lot. In order to progress further into the mod pack, we need to find the stronghold, we need to go and fight the Ender Dragon, and we need to visit the end cities. So let us see if that is something that we can do today. We're going to need 8 Eye of the Ender, and we should make a solid Ender Eye. Yes, we can. Very good. So this is a reusable Ender Eye, and we should be able to find the stronghold with it, which is that way. But this is not the only thing that we need in order to go to the end. We need a lot more stuff. For instance, I just noticed that we have access to ender orbs, so we're gonna make this one, which is basically a reusable ender pearl. I like that. I think making a suitable bow is also not the worst thing that we can do. We can make a corallium bow. We have corallium armor, so it makes sense. Can we enchant you with something nice? Punch 1. Yeah, why not? Power 3, punch 1, flame. We also had a power 4 book, so we can upgrade it, but we do not have infinity or unbreaking. It's nighttime, so let us give it a test before we go to the end and realize this is a garbage bow, a creeper. It's not bad. I think it also gives them the corallium plague, so it's really good. One thing that we should remember is that in this mod pack we do not have that many methods of teleportation, except for the one which is provided by Astral Sorcery, which is basically an altar and a multi-block structure. So I was thinking we set up one in the end, so that going back and forth will be easier for us. But first things first, let us find the stronghold, because maybe it's like 50 blocks away from our base. I had to travel more than 500 blocks, so I guess it makes sense to teleport. The problem is I don't really remember the name of that block. Oh yes, Celestial Gateway. And it's not a very complicated multi-block structure. We can make it in the end, we can make one near our base. And we have plenty of star metal. Very good. Is this something that we can make during the day? Oh yeah, nice. We are going to make 3 of them. We need to use 2 of them today, but the third one, maybe we use it for the moon. Personally, I'm not a fan of how Astral Sorcery structures look because they're too white. So we're gonna set it up over here, which is not that far away from our base. It's a 5x5 of sooty marble, 4 ruined marbles on the corner, engraved marble on the top, and we wrap it up with arches. Yeah, the structure is formed, so if we go inside, we should be able to select the destination if we have one. I have prepared a very small care package for ourselves, which is mainly cobblestone, TNT, some arrows, and the stuff that we need in order to make the gateway. But before we go, we also need a considerable amount of ender pearls, because if we slay enderman, we don't get the pearls. And I also made some fire resistant potions, because we need to go to the nether in order to get some blaze powder. Is my food ready? Yes. Why are you just spawning one by one? Spawn more than one. 14 should be more than enough because we need a maximum of 12 just in case the portal does not have any eyes of the ender. I personally think we are good to go. Although I think we should also make some potions of strength. Cause let us be realistic, I'm very bad with the bow. The maximum amount of damage that we would be able to do is going to be with a sword. We should also take some bottles, I guess, just in case we need dragon breath for anything. We are generating new terrain, and I think it's still that way? Yes. Oh, please don't be in an ocean. Yes, you are. And I do not have a boat. It's fine, we can swim. Because I forgot to mention, with our new armor, we get water breathing. And I don't want to be the guy who corrects everyone, but piranhas do not spawn in oceans. Therefore the river. The fortress seems to be that way, but what is that? Oh, there are structures in the game. Is it supposed to be a nether portal? Maybe. This is weird. Look at the crazy number of structures that we have in the world. None of them were close to our base. It's okay, let us go find the stronghold, then we will figure out what these things are. Do you have to be in water? Why? Well, we have arrived, and it took me a while to find the portal, and we need 11 Eyes of the Ender. And I would assume we have everything we're going to need. We have arrows, we have TNT, we have an ender orb, and we have the bow. So, let's go to the end. This is a terrible spawn. I didn't miss! Nice! The ones which are encased like this, we're gonna put a TNT, we're gonna jump down, which is not a very good idea, and then we're gonna shoot them. And miss. And miss again. And it worked. I don't remember if we need you for anything, but we're gonna take it. We are actually doing a decent amount of damage. That's not bad. Who's teleporting me? I think I have most of the crystals. Oh, I missed one. Yeah, this time I think I have all of them. Well, she's not healing up. We have her. She dropped an arcane scroll. So before anything goes wrong, let us try and set up our gateway so that we can go back and forth. Hopefully, yes. The question is, which one is home? Is it that one? So you have to stand on the gateway and then hold shift? Yes, we are back home. Very good. And it does show you a preview. So the things that we are looking for is Ender Biotite, which there's not a crazy amount of it available, but it's okay. If we need more, we have to kill the dragon one more time. Yeah, I think for the moment, we have enough. I have not checked everything completely, but we are going to need Ender Alloy, we're going to need Ender Alloy Enhanced, and the Advanced. So we also need to find shulkers. And for the first time, the portal is not on top of the void, although it's not that far as well. So, can we go in? Yes. Obviously we're going to need chorus fruit. We also don't need a crazy amount, we can grow them in a garden cloche. We should also try and find an end city, and I keep get teleported. I honestly hate this part. Oh, there is an end city! It wasn't that far. Do you also have a ship? Because for the air reagent we also need one elytra. Okay, yes, it does have a ship. Very good. Then let us get some shulkers. Magma Cream Verus. Oh. Okay, there's so many of them. We have feather falling, so if I fall down, it's not going to be a disaster, but we should be careful in general. The worst part of this mod pack is that yes, you will arrive at the end cities, but you will not get any loot. Someone just teleported me down here, but it's okay. I was trying to say that we have 17 shulker shells, and I think that's going to be enough for the start. We just need to get the elytra and get out. Can I make the jump? Yes, I can. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, elytra. Another question is, do we need the head for anything? No. And that is our way home. We're not that far. Alright guys, we have arrived home, and unfortunately it's raining. It's also daytime, so I cannot sleep. So we have to tolerate the rain for a few minutes. The first thing that we're going to start crafting is going to be the air reagent. Oh, we don't have enough demonic will, okay. Does it have to be Raven's Feather? Yes. Unfortunately, we only have one raven feather because I used the second one in order to make the map. So we need to go to the Twilight Forest and gather some feathers. There is a raven, and he dropped 3, the air reagent. And in order to fly, we're going to have arcane ashes, air reagent, and a reinforced slate. We have it. Very good. And we can fly. Of course, some of you guys were suggesting that I should use the Mantle of the Stars, but I think this is more convenient because with the Mantle of the Stars, we cannot wear our normal armor. Of course, this one is also more difficult to control, but it's okay. Now that we have flight, let us get back to the main quest line. We have done much more quests, but I have not made the Prospector, so let us make this one as well, which unfortunately is going to require some blaze rods, so we need to find blazes. We also need to convert them into rods, so I had to come to our industrial area, and we need 3? Yeah, why not? Because each 4 of them is going to give you 1 rod, and that was an advancement. Here is our Prospector, and here is a bajillion quests. But this one is not done. Combine Ardite and Cobalt in a smelter to create Manulin. I have made Manulin. I'm not exactly sure, but maybe we need to make a block. Yes, we needed the block. So I would assume that's the extent of quest that we have completed so far. Now we need to get to the rocket. And I think the problem is going to be with the NASA workbench, yes. None of these seem to be very complicated. The only issue is that we're going to need compressed steel. And for that we're going to need a compressor, and for that we're going to need the Ender Alloy. I have no idea how many compressors we're going to need, but I do remember that making compressed steel, tin or copper is going to take a fair bit of time. So I would assume it makes sense to make more than one. Oh, and by the way, some of you guys were suggesting that this configuration for the metal is wrong and the iron should go this side. Is it working? Oh yeah, it's working now. Oh good. Oh, thank you. That was very useful. And we have 8 Ender alloys. Very good. We can sleep here. The worst part of this recipe is to make the soul forged anvil. We already have 1, and luckily I was trying to make more, so we have enough urns, and we should have enough of this devil dust thingy. Yes, ground netherrack. Not devil dust. Making the steel is going to take a fair bit of time, and I was thinking in the meanwhile, we might focus on getting the Ender alloy, the enhanced version, because we should be able to make the Ender crafter from extended crafting. Why did we get 20? Oh, it gives you 4. We also need to do a very small ritual from Abyssal Craft because we need the luminous crafting table, but luckily we have all the PE that we're going to need. We have 5000, it needs only 1. No sacrifice, right? Yes. And I think we have everything, right? This should be the Ender Crafter, and since we need to power it, we need alternators as well. And we're out of Ender Pearls. Nice. We also don't have a crazy amount of soul forged steel, so we can make 1 anvil for the moment, just to make 1 compressor, so that we will finish this quest. And this is the one which works with coal, right? Okay, good. Don't really know how much we're going to need, but we're going to start with 1 stack of steel ingots. And it's decently fast. We are not that rich, I could only afford 2 ender alternators, but for the moment, this should do. And we need you for the NASA workbench. Okay, after a crazy amount of crafting, these are the material that we have, and the engineering processor, the logic processor, and the assembly IO unit are the ones that we're missing. And now the question is, how do we make the inscriber? It's not that bad, but we do not have that many charged Certus quartz, and we cannot make a charger. Nice. It's fine, that will give us 20 and we will find more later on. And then we need to make the logic and engineering and silicon press. I honestly hope we have enough shulker pearls. Yes. So this should be relatively easy. We just put these guys in and we will get the presses. I was planning to change the compressors that we have over here into a flux compressor, but I didn't have time to do that. So for the moment, we have to burn coal. Anyhow, if we want to be prepared for later on, we are also going to need compressed aluminium and compressed bronze in order to make heavy duty plate so that we can make the rockets. And these kilns are also very useful. We can use them in order to make bronze. We have enough air pressure. We already have the logic press. That should be the silicon press, and here is the engineering press. We're also going to need an energy acceptor in order to power the inscribers. For the moment, they're not going to need a crazy amount of RF, and that should be more than enough, right? So if I give you silicon, you will give me printed silicon. Very good. We also need to make 1 heavy plate because for the engineering processor, instead of a diamond, we can just use 1 heavy plate. And it's not very optional. It's not that we can, but it's more like we don't have any other option because we don't have access to diamonds. So ladies and gentlemen, the IO unit goes there, engineering processor goes there, and logic processor here. After I think a billion years, we will have a NASA workbench. It's been a million years. And you look beautiful. It has been a day of achievements, look. If we want to look at our situation realistically, I don't think we will be able to go to the moon today. Cause I just realized the amount of work that you have to do in order to get prepared is just insane. But I think at the very least we should be able to make the rocket and maybe the spacesuit. So what do we need for the rocket? We're going to need the nose, we need 4 fins, and we also need to make 1 engine. So the only thing that we're missing is 8 pieces of heavy duty plate. Oh, you don't keep it in your inventory. Oh. Anyhow, I got some additional heavy duty plates, and here is our rocket. We also need to make a launch pad, and for the moment, we just put it here. So we have the rocket, now we need to think about fuel and oxygen. The oxygen collector is going to require 125 RF per tick. That is a lot. I did make 1 oxygen compressor and 2 oxygen collectors. These guys are going to collect the oxygen from the air, and we're going to put it in a tank using the oxygen compressor. So we also need to make tanks. One thing that I completely forgot is that we're going to need a crazy amount of wool. And in case you haven't noticed, we don't have a sheep farm. So I'm not exactly sure, maybe that is something that we actually have to invest in, because making wool in this mod pack is incredibly difficult. I'm not even sure if there are any sheep left in our immediate vicinity, so it's going to be a challenge. No, there's hope. There's 1 over here and 1 over there. This might sound very weird to you, but we need to stop space exploration because we're missing a lot of stuff. And for the moment, I really prefer if we work a little bit on our infrastructure. But first things first, we're missing a bunch of resources, and unfortunately, we need to go mining again. And since I want to do a huge session of mining, I was thinking that we make 1 of these backpacks, because it seems we can wear it in our bubble slot. Okay, that's good. And then how do we upgrade you? Do you need the previous tier? Yes, you do. Okay, it's not a crazy amount of storage, but it's good, and we're going to use it as our toolbox. So what are the items that we're very short on? Of course, one of them is coal, because we're literally burning through it. And this is coal. Very good. It's actually not very good, because I think it was supposed to be here, but this actually addition cave took its place. So we get garbage. It's okay, instead we found iron. And this was a huge vein, and this one is quartz, we're actually looking for it. That should be aluminium, that should be iron. I have no idea what the other one is. Oh, this is coal. The problem is that whenever you advance through an age, you need different metals. Until right now, tin was not something that we needed in large quantities, but unfortunately, now we need a lot. We have found more quartz, that is good, and some galena. I have been grinding down maybe for the past 2 hours and I have been gathering a lot of resources. Here is our supply of coal and here is our supply of iron, which is not that bad. I have also been gathering some resources in order to make the machine case from industrial foregoing so that we would be able to make the machines, at least some of them. I'm hoping that in the next age the price of this machine will be heavily reduced, but for the moment we need to make at least a few of them. So wait a minute, I don't get electrocuted anymore. Why? This thing is working. Weird. Is it with everyone? Yeah, okay. I thought we have enough material in order to make 10 of these machine casings, but unfortunately no, we don't have enough PCBs because we don't have enough capacitors. But that's fine, 7 will do. We definitely need to have a crusher from Actually Additions, and while we're doing it, maybe we make a double crusher. It is very expensive because you need 2 crushers, that's 2 machine casings, and you need an extra one. But I think it's worth it. Then I think it's not a very bad idea to invest in some water condensers. Because if I'm not wrong, this should be basically an aqueous accumulator. And of course, since we're going to have a sheep farm, we should invest in an animal rancher. The question is, can we also make range add-ons? Because otherwise this block is almost useless. Yes, we can. Very good. And it does have a huge range. I'm happy. I hate you. And that was very close. I just wanted to make some more PCBs so that we would be able to make more of these, and I'm missing one more. It's okay. We can use bonsai pots, but I was wondering if we can invest in some garden cloches. Yes, we can. We only need 3. Cause we only need 1 for sugarcane, 1 for cactus, and maybe 1 for chorus fruit. I installed the 3 garden cloches that we have. We do have a water condenser down there, which is providing these guys with water. They're outputting everything inside crates. And we do have thermoelectric generators over here, which are providing us with RF. We do not have any methods of transferring RF in this mod pack, at least as of yet. So anywhere that we need a little bit of RF, I think that's the best setup that we can have. Also, I wanted to install some floodlights, and then I remembered there is something called a transformer. The normal transformer will attach to a post like this, which looks really cool, but the HV version does not. So it will look like this, which is perfectly fine by me. We don't need a transformer. Of course, we do also have night vision, so you can't really see the light. Now let us see where we're going to have our sheep. I think here will be fine. Maybe? Do you swim? Please do. Oh, they do! I did bring in the sheep and they have 2 babies at the moment, and we're just gonna use them in order to get fleece. So I did bring our animal rancher, and I think we can just put it, I don't know, here? It's not facing the correct way, maybe here. Obviously nothing has to be visible, so we can put the extractor over here, hook it up to power, and you should get some RF. Very good. And here is your upgrade, and you are keeping up, that is good. And it will cover the entire area. Why isn't it shearing the sheep? It does say when provided with power, it will try to interact with animals with buckets and shears to milk cows and shear sheep. Do I need to provide you with shears? Well, I had to bring it 1 block higher, and we get wool. We don't get fleece. We actually get wool. So that's really good. I'm very happy. That's better than I thought. We're just going to have a crate over here, and all the wool should go inside. What this basically means is that we don't need sugarcane anymore, because I thought we need a lot of sugarcane in order to make wool. Now we're just getting wool. I think the last thing that we should do for today's episode is to try and make rocket fuel. Oh, you can see the liquids, okay. So that is kerosene. Rocket fuel is a mixture of kerosene and oxygen. So we need to have a refinery over here, and we need to get rid of you. I have already crafted most of the components in bulk, so making the refinery is not going to be a huge problem. And I think I saw a creeper? Yes. Aha, the refinery. We are providing it with kerosene, and on this side we need to provide it with oxygen. And here is some RF, so you should have some power. And the question is, how do we give you the oxygen? I have no idea. Okay, the red one is for fluids, that we know. So the green side should be for RF. Are you making oxygen? Yes. Can we input it like this? No. There is a fluid pipe from Galactic Craft as well, and maybe we can do it like this? Yes. That is fuel. And for going to the moon, we just need 1 bucket. Alright guys, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. There's actually not much left, we just need to make the spacesuit, which is a crazy amount of crafting. We need to make the fuel loader and go to the moon. And that's it. Then we will advance to the next age. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, bye bye.